So Chicago is going to be home to the 2017 Warrior Games this summer, and the Warrior Games are a Paralympic-style competition for wounded and injured service members and veterans. Now, one of the athletes competing is Israel Del Toro, also known as DT, and he's joining us this morning to tell us more about the event. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. Full disclosure here, I interviewed DT about 7 years ago when he was recovering at the burn center in San Antonio, and when I was there visiting you, you were in recovery. You've come a long way. How are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a while. So, since then, I was trying to get back in the military.
Right. Yes.
Got to re-enlist, get back in the military. Became an instructor. Now I'm a member of the Wings of Blue parachute team.
The Wings of Blue parachute team. Okay, you are incredible. So the thing I love, and we talked about this back then, was back in the day during the Vietnam era when soldiers would be injured, they weren't allowed to re-enlist. You were allowed to re-enlist, and so now your full-time job. Tell people, what is it you do now with the Air Force, right?
Yeah, with the Air Force. So now, since I re-enlisted, like I said, I became an instructor for my career field. I instructed young airmen that wanted to do special operations to do my job. But in the meantime, as I was doing that, I was excelling in Paralympic-style sports. And now I own world records in shot put, discus, and javelin.
Love it.
And then I became a world-class athlete for the Air Force full-time. And then just 3 months ago, they asked me if I want to be part of the Wings of Blue parachute team, and I went through their course, being the first disabled or wounded service member to go through that course, to be up in the air again and teach young cadets how to parachute out of planes.
That is incredible. And a lot of people will ask, what happened? You can kind of give us a brief synopsis of what happened. You were in Afghanistan, right?
Yeah, I got injured December 4th of '05 in Afghanistan. We were ambushed by a roadside bomb, and it exploded underneath me, and I was on fire, and everything caught in an airstrike. Saved my team, got medevaced out. Was in coma for 4 months. When I woke up, they told me, they gave me a 15% chance to live, third-degree burns on 80% of my body. I was never going to walk again, respirated for the rest of my life, and my military career was pretty much over.
Well, let me tell you guys, DT has come a long, long way. So now you are an athlete, and you are here to promote the Warrior Games, which are happening this summer. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the Warrior Games first began back in 2010. I've been a part of it since when the first one began, either as an athlete or as a coach or as a mentor. So last year when I found out I was going to be in Chicago, I was like, oh, that's cool, but I didn't think I was going to participate in it. I was just going to go as a mentor for the younger guys, because I've done my time. It's like, I want to let other guys experience it. But then they came in the news like, hey, we want you to come, be part of SOCOM. And so I was like, oh, excited, like, yes. These games that are going to come to start 30 June and last through 8 July is all Paralympic-style games. You'll see every branch of service, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and SOCOM, and some international. I think it's the British team and some Australian team maybe, competing against each other in volleyball, cycling, shooting, wheelchair basketball, track and field.
And it's happening here in Chicago, which we are so excited. Now, I think it's amazing inspiration, all of you athletes, what you guys can do. And I love that the Warrior Games say that this is the healing power of sports. And I remember when you were going through your recovery, I do remember being able to go into rehab and exercising. That meant a lot to you, and it made you strong, both not only physically but mentally.
It did. Sports really helps in making one feel like they're normal again, or somewhat normal, if you can say, kind of be back to what you used to be. Because a lot of us we're athletes, and we think we can't do any more sports until they start introducing to adaptive sports, and we start getting into it, and we start seeing other guys that are worse than us. They motivate us, then they say we motivate them.
You did motivate each other.
So it's a real good camaraderie, especially when you're going through your therapy, because some of your therapy is some of the worst pain you go through.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And just to have that moment of just whatever it is, running or throwing or shooting, and forgetting about everything else, is an amazing feeling. Then having your teammates, other wounded, injured, ill, or service members, they're cheering you on. Even though we're competing against each other, we're still supporting each other no matter what.
Well, your son is how old now?
He's 14, he'll be 15.
Okay, wow. And you said he's kind of crazy. I remember how concerned you were and when he initially was going to first see his dad. And now I see pictures of you and your son together. He's so proud of his father. And get this, you guys, he is a star because you are one of many veterans, a few veterans that were painted by the former President Bush. So you're like this with him now, huh? What's up with that?
Yeah, you know, he surprised me. He told me that he was going to paint me, and I was like, really going to paint me? He's like, you better do a good job. I was like,
make me look pretty, right?
Make me look pretty. And he showed me, and he did. He really, like my wife would say, he captured my spirit, my smile, my eyes, and he did a real good job, and he surprised me about it. But he still likes picking on me and messing with me all the time.
I have to say, you are an inspiration to all of us, and we look forward to the Warrior Games. And let's see, what's the website? Do you know?
It is...
Oh, it looks like we can go to www.warriorgames.com. That's DOD, right?
DOD.
Okay. Well, okay, and what are you competing in? Where we will look for you, huh?
I'm going to be very busy.
He's going to be busy. Okay, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Actually, I'll be doing cycling, shooting, standing and prone, the 100-meter dash, the 4x100 relay, shot put discus, and city volleyball.
Okay. Can I give you a hug? Yeah. It's so good to see you again.
See you too.
Thanks so much for coming in. Can't wait, and we're going to be covering you this summer when you come back out, okay?
That's right. And don't forget, root for SOCOM, because that's the best team.
Okay, go SOCOM. Thanks so much.
Dave.